They called at 9 on Monday morning to tell me what was with the car. The fan had gone out because it had been overtaxed. It had been overtaxed because the old damn cooling system was shot. A lot of work was needed, about $600 worth. I groaned and told them to carry on. They said it would probably be ready around 2 o'clock. They'd call. I said skip the call. I'd pick the car when I could. The fact is, I had already abandoned the car. I couldn't afford the repairs and the damn thing probably wouldn't be up to carrying Ishmael anyway. I rented a van. You will doubtless wonder why in hell I didn't do that in the first place. The answer is I just didn't think of it. I'm limited, okay? I get used to doing things in a certain way, and that doesn't include taking trips in rented vans. 2 hours later I pulled up at the carnival lot and said, damn, the carnival had moved on. Something, maybe a premonition, prompted me to get out and poke around. The lot seemed much too small to have held 19 rides, 24 games and a sideshow. I wondered if I could find the site of Ishmael's cage without any landmarks to guide me. My feet remembered enough to get me to the vicinity, and my eyes did the rest, for there was a visible trace. The blankets I had bought for him had been left behind, had been dumped in a messy pile along with other things I recognized. A few of his books, a pile of drawing paper still showing the maps and diagrams he'd made to illustrate the stories of Cain and Abel, Leavers and Takers, and the poster from his office, now rolled up and secured by a rubber band. I was tearing it up and sorting it out in a bewildered way when my aged bribie turned up. He grinned and held up a big plastic bag to show me what he was doing there, clearing away some of the hundreds of pounds of trash that had been left behind. Then, when he saw the pile of stuff at my feet, he looked up at me and said, "It was the pneumonia." "What?" "It was the pneumonia that got him, your friend the ape." I stood there blinking at him, unable to fathom what he was getting at. Vet came Saturday night and shot him full of stuff, but it was too late. Passed off this morning around 7 or 8, I guess. "Are you telling me that he's dead?" "That is what he is, partner." And I, the total egotist, had only vaguely registered the fact that he'd seemed a bit run. I looked around the vast grey lot, where here and there the wind raised clumps of paper trash and sometimes sent them tumbling, and felt one with it. Empty, useless, choked with dust, a wasteland. My ancient partner waited, plainly interested to see what this friend of apes would do or say next. "What did they do with them?" I asked. "Huh? What did they do with the body?" "Oh, called the county, I guess. Took him off where they cremate the roadkills, you know." "Yeah, thanks. No sweat. Alright if I take his stuff?" From the look he gave me, I could see I'd presented him with a new high watermark in human lunacy. But all he said was, "Sure, why not? Just get dumped otherwise." I left the blankets, of course, but the rest all fit easily under one arm. What was to be done? Stand for a moment with lowered gaze outside the county furnace where they cremate the roadkills? Someone else would have handled it differently, probably better, revealing greater art, a finer sensibility. Myself, I drove home. Turned in the van, picked up my car, and went back to the apartment. It was empty in a new way, with a new degree of emptiness. There was a telephone there on an end table, connecting me to a whole world of life and activity, but who could I call? Oddly enough, I thought of someone, looked up a number and dialed it. After 3 rings, a low, thin voice answered. "Mr. Sokolov's residence." "Is this Mr. Partridge?" "Yes, this is Mr. Partridge." I said, "This is the guy who visited you a couple weeks ago trying to locate Rachel Sokolov." Partridge waited. I said, "Ishmael is dead." After a pause, "I'm sorry to hear it." "We could have saved him." Partridge thought about that for a while. "Are you sure he would have let us?" I wasn't sure and said so. It wasn't until I got Ishmael's poster to the framing shop that I discovered there were messages on both sides. I had it framed so that both can be seen. The messages on one side is the one Ishmael displayed on the wall of his den. "With man gone, will there be hope for Gorilla?" The message on the other side reads, "With Gorilla gone, will there be hope for man?"